Assalamualaikum and hello again everyone. Welcome back to Technology Media Design course. We will talk about graphics today. Okay, one of the multimedia elements. So what exactly is graphics? It was first introduced by the Apple Macintosh computer and the Microsoft Windows program. When they first introduced this tool, the way how we work with computer also changed, and we managed to produce a better graphical images on screen. So let's have a look at types of graphics and we'll talk about that. So what exactly is graphics? With the computer just now, you now can do editing on photographs, drawings. If you talk about photograph, it is the most realistic visuals, of course, the one that you took from your camera. These days you just use your handphone to take photograph, right? As in for drawing, it's less realistic, of course, than photograph, right? You have to produce it yourself by drawing, right? And then there's cartoon, diagram, they all have different functions and different style. Like cartoons, it can be useful to deliver the messages for a certain target audience, right? Not necessarily children, sometimes even adults also, you can use cartoons to deliver your message depending on the situation and the aims of the message. Okay, diagram used a lot in describing data, statistic information. Okay, a lot of researchers use diagram to explain their findings. Graph, there's a lot of graphics type. Okay, graph. So these are some of the examples. We have cartoon, diagram, photo. You can see yourself there. And graphics category, two famous ones. Vector bitmaps. Okay, vector or bitmaps. Normally, a graphic designer, they will ask client, would you prefer to use vector or bitmaps? We'll have a look what's the difference between these two. I'll give you an example of these two images here, so which one is vector, which one is bitmap. As you can see, on your left is actually bitmap and on the right is vector. Okay, so let's look into it. When you talk about vector image, uses points, lines, curve, and involve mathematical equations. Vector images actually produce better image quality. You will normally have less issue of resizing and your images. Okay, you can for example, increase the size of your image without having problem of losing the quality. And normally like vector, you use software, different software than those bitmap images to edit, like Illustrator and CorelDRAW. The format size, the format file also different. EPS, SVG, it's a bit different from bitmap. Like I said just now, it has the ability to resize and rotate image without distortions. Okay, it's just that the problem with vector, you won't get photorealistic quality. It looks a bit like cartoonish, but with the latest technology these days, the image looks more real. Okay, as in before, there's a way of doing it, but it requires lots of skills and hours in producing vector images. For example, here when you draw plane, you can still separate the parts. If you want to change the color for each part, it's easy for you to do that when you work with vector image. Okay. It's a bit different with bitmap. It's harder to do editing on bitmap. Okay, and it is known as raster graphics. Okay, because there's involved number of pixels, as you can see here when you zoom. Okay, an image, you will see a lot of pixels. All the boxes, small boxes here are known as pixels. Okay, So it's not like vector just now. If you zoom, the color is still flat, just like one tone. Okay. So 3 methods to produce bitmap images. Well, you can capture directly from screen captured on your computer, or you can take photo, right? Photo from your camera, okay? Phone camera, and then you can use like any other graphic equipment like scanners. You take a magazine, you scan the picture from the magazine, These are some of the way of getting bitmap image. But the thing is, like I said, if you zoom and look closer, you can see that it is not as sharp as a vector like that. You can see there's pixels, okay, with bitmap images. So later when you use, for example, like Adobe software and like Adobe Photoshop, you manage to see this, okay? Or even if you try to download, bitmap images from Google Images, for example, if you zoom into the photo, you can see it becomes as such pixels. You can see the pixels like this one here. Okay, graphics quality. This bitmap just now, if we talk about bitmaps, pixel or known as dot per inch. Okay, this represent all the dots, the squares, the small squares. So in one photo of yourself, if you zoom, there's a lot of pixels in dot per inch. Okay, and how to increase this dot per inch. I mean, the more dot per inch of pixel you have, the better quality of the image will become. Okay, so you can actually set that using computer software. So I'm giving you an example here. The higher the DPI is, the clearer and better quality you produce. Okay. So other than pixels just now, you have to take note on color depth as well. Color depth is all about how many different colors can exist within a particular image. Sometimes if you want an image to have this high quality color, it becomes so sharp, so nice, right? So you need to set a higher color depth. Okay, for example, if you watch TV, right, certain TV can't offer you higher color depth, certain can. So you can see the quality is a bit different. Okay. Again, when you talk about color depth, we can use 8-bit, 16-bit, and higher bits. You can see the difference there when you use 8-bit, it is nicer, clearer as compared to 4 bits. Okay. You can see the pixels coming out. So when one application program is doing dithering process, it will change the color to pattern. So from this to that, you are dithering the image. Okay, so this is called dithering. And how do you increase the DPI of pixels? You can redigitize the image at a higher resolution, as I said just now. You can always take a photo, get into computer software and increase the resolution, which you can increase the pixels or DPI. For example, you take a photo, you get into Photoshop, you increase, there's a function in the software when you click and you can increase the DPI, right? But it's important also to know if the quality of the photo originally is already small, you can't do much. You can't increase much. It won't make any difference. So this is why it's important for you to first either scan the photo in highest quality possible, okay, or you take a photo using high-end camera, okay, which offer more than 300 DPI resolution. Therefore, you can guarantee to have a quality result, okay. But like I said, if originally the resolution is already low, therefore it's hard for you to make any editing or to even increase the quality of the graphics or image. Yeah. So there's a lot of DPI. For example, if you want to design something for the website, normally you can set standard to 72 dpi is enough already for on-screen view. But if you tend to use it for printing purposes, you need a higher DPI. You have to set it earlier, like 300 DPI and above. Okay, meaning you have a higher quality of photo already. You want to make editing on the photo, you get into Photoshop software, right? In Photoshop, okay, once you know that you want to publish this photo later in website, you can set, okay, you can click on the resolution and set it for 72 dpi only. But if you want to edit the photo and you want to use this for printing purposes, you want to print out the photo later, make sure, in Photoshop software, you set the resolution more than 300 dpi. Okay, not to worry, we shall use Photoshop and you will understand this later. Okay. Okay, I've explained just now, and there are different formats, okay, for graphics. There's GIF, JPEG, TIFF, EPS, PICT. So all depends on the software that you use, and it depends on where do you want to post the graphics later on. Okay, the common one like window bitmap, BMP, DIB, a lot actually, more than this, more than have been shown here. But like I've said, the standard one would be JPEG, which is globally or generally acceptable in any software and easily can be projected on any forms of platform, even WhatsApp, even any blogs, website, you can use JPEG easily. Okay, and it's just one of the smallest file format you can use. Okay, so please take note when you work with graphics, select the right kind of graphic for the job. As I said just now, if a client comes to you and she tells you like, look, I want this graphics to be in my banner, okay, or poster design, and I want to put that poster or that banner later on billboards at the side of a highway, for example. Yeah, so it require big or large quality of images, so you need to decide what would be the best way or what would be the best graphic for it. It's either you want to use vector or bitmap, right? If you're going to end up using bitmap, there's involved photographs of people. What resolution should you set for it? All this you need to take into consideration in working with the graphics. Okay, so just a bit of sharing there. Any questions, do let me know or email me at zack@utm.my. Thank you for your attention.